The new Assassinations Committee has reopened the investigation into Oswald's alleged visit to Mexico City, and the story has grown stranger and stranger. The Soviet and Cuban embassies in Mexico City were under 24-hour-a-day surveillance by the CIA. Phone calls supposedly made by Oswald were tapped, and every person who entered the embassies was photographed by hidden cameras. But as the record now reveals, these were the photographs which the CIA produced. And according to the CIA, they purport to show a man who identified himself as Lee Harvey Oswald entering the Cuban embassy.
The photographs allegedly of Oswald going into the Cuban embassy, as we all know, in fact were not photographs of Oswald. Secondly, it turns out that those photographs, even if they were of the wrong person, you would expect they would be of a person entering the Cuban embassy, but it turns out they are photographs of someone entering the Russian embassy, and there's a question raised, how could they so mix up even what building they're talking about? In addition, when we inquire, well, where were the photographs you took of people who entered the Cuban embassy on the day in question, we are told that the cameras did not work that day, and we then want to start talking. I want to talk to the camera people, and I want to find out, is that true? And that's where we get stopped.
Unbeknownst to me and deliberately denied to me during the hearings of my subcommittee was another set of photographs of this same man. We put Lee Harvey Oswald's name on them. We say we now don't know who he is, and we deliberately withheld from the Warren Commission and my committee 2 other photographs of this man in 2 separate changes of clothing. The cover-up is going on.
On whose instructions do you think those photographs could have been withheld now from your committee?
Well, it has to be somebody very high up in government who doesn't want it to come out. I don't know who held it up, but all I can say is I'm sure it was at the highest level, because I think this whole thing points to being at the highest level.
Because Oswald's alleged phone calls to the Russian and Cuban embassies in Mexico City were allegedly tape-recorded, the CIA presented the Warren Commission with a transcript of what he supposedly said. But it claimed the actual tapes were destroyed before President Kennedy's murder. The House Assassinations Committee learned differently.
The CIA said that they had reused that tape prior to the assassination of President Kennedy, yet the FBI has a document stating that some of their agents listened to the tape after the assassination of President Kennedy, and the voice on there was not Oswald's. In addition, the CIA presented a transcript of that conversation. We had interviewed the typist who typed it up, who said that the transcript presented was not, in fact, what was typed up by whoever it was who spoke on that conversation. These are areas that I wanted to get into.